All right, guys, we are back now with the semifinals here of the Zowie NA #1 event here, and I'm joined with Tempo now. Get
Well,
pumped.
well, well, Mr. Nan, man, it's been a while, but how the hell have you been? I'm back. I'm here.
Yeah, it's been so long, a
It's
month
been
or
months,
so.
man. Oh, it's been
Yeah,
years. How the kids?
years. Good, I got a new one now, and by kids, if you guys know, I've got like 3 cats in my house.
Cats,
So,
yeah. So Kit,
but
it was
yeah.
with the T. So, but hey, we're gonna go into another ZVP. I just
Hmm.
watched the last ZVP that you guys were casting. And SWS looked
SWS.
pretty dominant, man. That was pretty, a little bit of a one-sided series there.
I guess he realized after not doing so well in the Breakout Invitational, since he played a lot of Zergs there, and he actually got last in this group. He's like, I have to make sure I get my PVZ down pat,
Yeah,
and it's gonna be working out great because he is the last Protoss left in the tournament. There are only Zergs. If he
yeah,
beats Baldwin, he goes on to play Guitar Cheese. So
yep.
this is a really, really important factor. This is the last semifinal, so the winner goes to play Guitar Cheese. He's waiting in
He's
the
waiting, yeah.
wings, ready,
He's
ready to
chilling.
go.
He was just tearing through. And Baldwin as well. Well, I guess we should probably introduce him, I guess. Spawning in the bottom left corner as the Blue Zerg. He is representing, I believe, TT Seed, but not so much. Is it still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. TT Seed. It is Baldwin.
A former Gravity player before getting picked up
Gravity.
by
That's
Seed there.
okay.
So,
Cool.
but his opponent spawning up in the only other spawn location here on Overgrowth. It is our pink Protoss player from DuSt Gaming. He is SWS or Todescom for all you guys that knew him back in the day.
Swiss is his name. I was gonna say Baldwin. I was looking at him, and he was pretty much tearing through the brackets. I didn't get a chance to catch a lot of the games,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know how much you did follow Baldwin. But I was looking at his records, and he was just 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. I know he got a bye in the first round, but every other one was just pretty
So
much
yeah,
2-0.
just tearing through, and that's what's so cool too with these NA events like this is to see the players that are used to playing each other, like on the ladder and stuff like that. Their face
Yep.
in this sort of tournament scene, how they kind of play against each other, what sort of mind games they're going to bring out, and that's like the last series.
Yeah.
Seeing SWS like go for all those cannons and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
There is money on the line for these players here. By making it to the semifinals, you're guaranteed getting paid out. But the first place is really the important one. You get $70 for getting first place there, $20 for second, and then third and fourth get $5 respectively there. So congratulations, Baldwin and SWS. You are guaranteed $5 for making it to the
$5,
semifinals.
man. Word.
Mhm.
You can do it. What can you get with five? You know what I'm saying? Like, you get a $5
So,
foot long,
you
right?
could get yourself a
Okay.
nice Slurpee, one of those giant ones, and
Yep.
like a hot dog with it.
Yeah. So,
Guess
but
what?
SWS are not going to be doing no cannon play, at least in this game, in the first game of the series.
No, and I think that's smart with the way this map is set up. Don't really opt for that sort of cannon play here, especially when he's playing against Baldwin. He got in there, got the kind of idea of what sort of style he was playing. Okay, I'm just going to play a little bit more safer this time. Go for
Yeah.
my Nexus here, kind of geared up for my normal play. Get that mothership core out as the defense and stuff. And
Hmm.
I like it. I'm really curious to see if SWS is going to go the same style. I don't think we're going to see that sort of DT thing again.
DT play, right? Yeah.
I just because I knew Baldwin was watching in the chat, and
Hmm.
he watched the last series, so I think he's going to be a lot more aware of how SWS played that last series because he pretty much played the exact same way 2 games in a row. So
Yeah.
you would expect Baldwin to kind of be a little bit more prepared against this, but I don't know. What would you like to see out of these players, Tempo?
This is one of those maps where a lot of, I don't know, famous, but I mean, at least when I watch a lot of streams, you will see Swarm host games on this map. It's just a very easy map for Zerg to kind of set up with that because you can split the map so easily. But I'm not saying that I want to see a long Swarm host game for sure, but I wouldn't mind it. But it's just, it's one of those maps where it's a possibility, and
Yes.
it's not as easy like say Frost, where you get pretty much the whole map to yourself. So if Zerg does go Swarm host, you can just go ahead and take the whole map around and the Zerg player really can't do too much about it because they can't split their forces too much. But on this map, it's a very straightforward. It's just a half. Like you can literally take a line and just draw it right down the middle. And since it's a two-player map, it's not like the distance is too far. So, but we'll see. I do like aggressive. I like really aggressive play, especially from the Protoss player in the mid game. Seeing how the Zerg player does hold it, but of course, aggressive play that does have a follow-up. Taking a third behind it, forcing units out, and having a game plan. As you do get in the head of your opponent in this first game, which is so important because you're kind of feeling your opponent out. So, there are different approaches, of course, to doing that. Whether you just go and kill him or see how he reacts to your aggression and, the little things in the mid game of ZVP. So.
No, that's a good way to put it here, is the little things that we can see coming out from these players here. And already a couple little things that have taken place that are a little bit key is SWS has been able to, snipe at least 2 overlords there. Baldwin really not able to get much intel with those overlords either. Like he doesn't know that the forge is down, and it's really kind of looking like a normal SWS build like we've seen the last.
Yeah, he did that
games.
last. I was gonna say he did that last time, and well, I think the question on our minds is how Baldwin is gonna play, because we haven't. Have you casted any games with him in this tournament yet, or?
Not yet in this tournament.
Okay,
so did we? Am I?
Oh,
maybe we casted him the first. He was the first game we casted him at the end. I think it was game 2 that we casted him of, and that's why.
Well, I was actually wondering how he was going to utilize those Evo chambers, and that's what I was interested in, because he does go for the melee upgrades. So, going for those melee upgrades,
it's interesting. It's kind of similar to how we saw our Zerg player play last game there.
Yep.
So
snake hips.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. Snake hips. I kept wanting to think snake ships, but
snakes on a plane is the sequel, man. But SWS is very, very good with the Phoenix scouting. I've seen him do that a lot, continuously scouting with that Phoenix, making sure that he doesn't get caught by surprise. And when you do scout like this, you can't really tell. So he sees the layer timing if he was able to. I don't know if he was able to yet. Yeah, he saw it morphing. Doesn't know exactly how far along it was. But a little bit of a disaster here. Baldwin stopped all of his drones. There he goes. But getting the +1/+1 melee upgrade, and on this map, I've seen some really, really cool plays, especially with Ling's, Ling and Fester, and getting those Ultralisks out, because it does really deal with the Colossus type of play. And if you make a lot of queens, even if they go Void Rays, you have the Infestors to hold them in place, and then the queens can kind of pick away at them, while the Lings kind of tear everything on the ground. So, but we'll see how exactly it goes. Infestation Pit on the way here, and SWS securing. He's so good at this, especially getting a lot of sentries out while he gets his third, making the Sim City. So even if Lings are able to come, he can force field so easily. So unless his rotas are like a Ling Hydra attack, you're not gonna break that yet. And here we go. You know what this reminds me of? Oh my God, oh my God, it was during the Gravity Show match that a player played like this. Wow, what's his name? Zanster, I think Zanster.
That sounds
Ever
right.
heard of him before? So like he does 1/1 melee upgrades, gets Swarm Host, but then he goes up to Hive and he either techs into Broodlord, or I don't even know if he gets Ultras too, but we were questioning it too, because usually you think, right, I'm getting Swarm Host, might as well get the range upgrade, but keep that. Whoa, big Ling run by at the third here. Gonna take out a few probes, gets the cannon already. But
yeah, good pickups there. I mean, forcing a couple of Zelds to get warped in back at home and not over where this force is pushing at, which is always an important thing here. But Dark Shrine's coming up, and Baldwin has to kind of be careful about this with the Swarm Host pumping out now. But SWS is playing the same style that he has been playing before, so I think the Swarm Host is a good response to the way that SWS played last game, and how he's playing currently is that you just have to be aware of it. But we see a pylon has been thrown down over in the right-hand corner. Probe scouting around, sees there's an additional expansion over there. Nosuke, you already have 4 bases. My DT, wow, he's actually just saying, I'm going to put a pylon right in your face, and you better be paying attention to this.
He doesn't care. So you got to be able to prepare for this right now. And the typical response to Swarmos is to go Robo, get the Colossus out. But look at what Baldwin is doing. He's going to go right into Mutas. So, getting Colossus and skimping out on the Stalkers, because unless you're using that really aggressive Blink Stalker style, it's really not going to be too effective to deal with the Swarm Host. So if you go ahead and get the Immortals, get the Colossus to deal with it, all of a sudden you see a bunch of mutas come out and you really don't have the anti-air to deal with it. So that's exactly what Baldwin is doing right now, and we'll see if he catches SWS off guard.
Yeah, well, there are
Speaking of off guard,
DTs. Yeah,
yeah,
one in the main base and one in the natural. Now, there is an Overseer about to pop out inside of the main base here. The one at the natural, though, able to get, wow, 8 kills before going down there. So that was a great little pickup there for SWS. A nice little delayer. And this allows SWS to kind of scramble, get some Stalkers in position, and really start getting that static defense up and running for those mutas. And on this map, you know, it's going to be tough because your bases are all spread out across the top of the map. So you really have to make sure those all have a very solid defense. And if you're sitting there with a lot of stalkers inside your main base, well, you know, that means your third and fourth might be a little bit more vulnerable.
Oh, speaking of fourth and vulnerable, there's a queen there that could transfuse it, but it does go down. The Baldwin, Baldwin's base in the bottom right. However, here comes that force right now, and the army value is looking pretty good for Baldwin. SWS has established 3 bases. Doesn't have any real cannons in his third or like, in the mineral line yet, so the mutas could pose a threat. But I don't know. I'm really liking SWS's position though, how he set that up. Oh, go for those mutas.
Taking a couple shots there, and actually he was trying to take out that sniper setting score there, which was going to be a great pickup, but unable to get that. But there's that main fighting force of SWS. He's got a lot of sentries with Guardian Shield, some stalkers with there, and you know, a lot of swarm hosts. Are goofed up for this army here. He's got a lot of lings too, but SWS trying to find that best angle for defense and losing a couple stalkers. And will he end up losing a couple swarm if he's not careful? Good force fields keeping everything trapped back, allowing those colossus to deal the damage. But Muta's over top going to pick off one. The second one very low on health, and it looks like it will go down. But the Archon and stalkers do great damage to the Mutas. They all will be cleaned up in the process. And now swarm hosts are vulnerable.
They're dead, man. He was focusing the Colossus, but there were 2 Archons right there, just destroying all of the mutas, and that is huge. You know, that muta count's not scary anymore. The threat of that kind of counterattack is no longer there, especially with the 4th going down, which means that there's no efficient gas mining over there. So SWS has established a 4th behind that, and I think that that was a little bit of a mistake from our Zerg player. So he's gonna need to, I don't know, man. He's gonna be on the or do that. That's another.
that's one way to respond to that. I mean, it's really tough position too. I love the kind of pulling he was doing. Like Baldwin sat here and was like, all right, this is the tech route that I want you to go. Pull, kind of thing, and pulling him in a direction. But after losing that
those
push,
2 Archons, man, it was just those 2 Archons, really. He focused the
tough.
2 Colossus and he got him. And then by the time he realized that they were dead, he's just like, the 2 Archons have been doing their like fist pump at the mutas for the past like 10 seconds. So yeah, Baldwin gonna take game number 1.
The Dark Shrine,
I mean,
too.
SWS Herp Derp.
Yes, you know, it's something that Baldwin should have been prepared for, but just wasn't. And the DT able to do a lot of damage. He was able to sneak it in again and snipe the 4th base of Baldwin. That was kind of really forcing Baldwin. I have to do damage there, and just could not get a solid enough victory there. And you know, very, very solid SWS play there. Like, it just shows that his PVZ is super powerful, and it's gonna fall on Baldwin to find you know, something different now.
Yeah, he did try that style
that time. Yeah, I don't know.
It was good though. It was definitely good. Like, he set it up pretty nicely, but like you were saying, SWS going for the DTs, and you were like, you know, Baldwin shouldn't fall victim to this because he's definitely seen it in the past 2 games, but he wasn't ready, man, and he lost his 4th while SWS got his 4th up, and that's big. So, yeah, definitely. It was a 6 playstyle though. I like that playstyle. It's not like the Swarm Host Turtle style, but it's more so like you react to me and I'm gonna react preemptively. Kind of like how the old traditional, I'm going Hydra, you know, like you go Phoenixes, Force Hydras, and then Colossus, like, you know. But it was a little bit different in that case. But, you know, you can't lose your mutas in that situation. You need to keep them up. Just like in ZVT, where anytime you're attacking, you want to always retain your mutas, even if you lose your Lings and Banes. But retaining the mutas, killing the medevacs, and then backing off to for like round 2. But he kind of gave it his all in that attack. And he may have felt that way because of the 4th going down. So
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of resources invested into that. And, you know, I think maybe it also would have been better if he had another wave of Lings with that push, too. That he could have come in from the backside after those force field went down. But, you know, hindsight's 20/20 sometimes.
It is,
it's, you know, it happens. But we'll see. for the next map, how things are going to go. I mean, I don't know. I still think Baldwin played really well, very solid, and it could have very easily have gone either way with how things were looking in the earlier stages of the game, even right up before those DT hit, that it could have very easily have gone either way. So
Hmm.
um, let's see. Now, like we said, Guitar Cheats waiting in the finals here, waiting for either Baldwin or SWS. But this event here could not happen without our wonderful sponsors that make this event happen. This is, of course, the first Zowie NA Rumble, which means it is sponsored, of course, by Zowie Gear, and also the tournament hosting site, Excello there, which
Cello.
yep, they've got the brackets up for you guys to enjoy. It's very simple, very easy to use. We've used it all the time for many different events that we've hosted. So it's great to see. You can find all the players on it, find out how they did in each of their matches. It's got linking to their ID and stuff, their BattleNet accounts, so you can look at their profiles and be like, oh, he's a barcode player. Good to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's definitely great stuff. Hope you guys have been enjoying it.
Definitely.
This is going to be an every month event, maybe more often depending on how things work out. But as of right now, every month you will guarantee be seeing the Zowie NA Rumbles be taking place. And of course, it has to be said, we also have the amazing man behind the curtain, Current TV,
Woo.
Best Observer NA. Make sure you guys tweet at him.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
To it.
Do it now. Do it.
Yeah, definitely a boss.
Uh-oh. Curran and I are about to battle. This is going to be a really quick game because Curran much better than me. Well, now SWS versus me. Up, even worse.
Yeah.
Worse for SWS, that is.
Yeah. He's away into the finals.
All right.
Ready.
Looks like Baldwin's ready and SWS is ready here. So, game 2 in this PBZ between Baldwin and SWS.
Yep, the map is going to be Frost. And this is a map where that swarm host style can go to a little bit different. Like, it can go a much different direction. I've seen Zergs play it out beautifully. I've seen Protoss play it out beautifully. Like, there's just... You really have to have a firm understanding on both sides, especially on a map like this, how to deal with it. So we'll see exactly how it does play out, and if we'll see the similar kind of styles between the two players. But hey, spawning in the bottom left corner, representing Team Dust, winning the last game, hoping to go into the finals to meet Guitar Cheese, it is SWS.
And his opponent spawning down here in the southeast position. It's going to be our red Zerg player, currently down 0-1 in this best of 3, representing Seed Gaming. He is Baldwin.
All right.
So this seems to be, whenever we are playing on Frost today, it is always horizontal spawns.
Really?
Whether it's both on the top or both on the bottom here. Okay, we did see one that was just kind of vertical on the right hand side, but
the last
majority
one,
of them have been sort of horizontal. I don't know, but I'm excited to see how
no
things
cross
work out.
positions, huh?
Yeah, not yet, but there's time. There is time.
There is still, yep. Frost is definitely a common map that players do pick in best of X series. And the next
Now-
series, I believe, is going to be a best of 5, the finals.
I believe so. Now, one other thing we can keep in mind too is those cannon shenanigans are very much a possibility here on Frost.
Mm-hmm.
We did see SWS do something trickery earlier today, not against Baldwin, but against other players. He's known for going for that sort of cannon shenanigan, but it looks like Baldwin's not going to have any of that. He's going to be going for a spawning pool first, not hatch first. Doesn't want to be playing too greedy here. And SWS, I was like,
a little bit.
seeing some lag. Was that me?
Oh. Our wonderful observer. Oh, I think BattleNet is actually kind of messed up a bit too. I got a message from somebody. Actually, she was like, "Yo, you getting like lag spikes?" And she's like this laddering and whatnot. And I don't know. There may be something goofy going on with BattleNet as well. So
there might be. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Whew.
All right.
Dim battle nets.
Yep. Well, anyway, yeah, like you were saying, going for that pool first, always smart, especially on a 4-player map where sometimes you'll get a Pro player sending out 2 probes and being like, hey, he's going to be very confident and very safe feeling, and then I'm going to put down a hatch first. And, oh god, what do you know? Alrighty, well, that's very interesting to me. That's very interesting to me, right? Like, did he scout the pool too? He's still going to do it, right? Maybe to the 3rd, but pool's already done here.
The pool is done. You know, Queen's coming out. He's already got 2 Lings coming out, and this is like a really cool way that SWS plays here. Is like, oh, and he even canceled it too. Is kind of aware of the situation once he got in there and saw all the pools finish up and how things are looking with the timing, and you know, that's what's so cool about how he plays too. Is he did that the reverse style in the last series he played. This time he's like, all right, you know what, Forge. Last second, okay, cool. I'm gonna cancel it up, go for the core, just play more normal.
Yeah. So I mean, unless he was going for some kind of like, you know, +1 timing. Imagine that, like 4 gateways, no warp gate, just rally Chronos, a Starburst or Brood War style, and just rally them over. So
like tons of lag.
So you said like tons of lag. Yeah, I was gonna say, I really think it might be a BattleNet thing, to be honest.
Yeah, it's right. Mm-hmm. It's going through waves now. Other people are getting hit. Well, and looks like even Baldwin's experiencing it a little bit there. So it sucks. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes, you know, BattleNet decides that it wants to be crazy and do stuff that it shouldn't be doing. But
yeah, hopefully it'll, like, I don't know, of course, as an observer, we don't know, we don't feel it exactly. Because we're not like clicking units around, but it could be a delay kind of lag, you know, like you click a link over there. And
that would be really annoying to deal with too, especially when it is, you know, top 4 like this.
Oh yeah.
You want to be able to move on to make it to get to that kind of top prize and stuff. And looks like they let it subside for a little bit, going to try to go. So. All right. We'll have to see if any of the players do mention anything there. But as of right now, things are still kind of in that normal power-up mode between both the players. SWS continuing up with this normal. All right, add on the additional gateways behind this. As you know, core finishes up, I can start get warp gate started up here, and Baldwin's just kind of doing the same sort of style here. It's all right, getting my 3rd hatch, droning up very heavily at this point in time here. Wouldn't be surprised in the near future he's going to be grabbing that first extractor. But it's just power up mode, nothing crazy.
Oh yeah, he opened up gasless too, so he didn't bother to send a drone scout. He was just like, I'm gonna open up, even if you're going gateway or forge. You sometimes assume that your opponent will go for the forge, just because of such a big map and Nexus first. Expect him to play kind of greedy, so. SWS didn't open that way though. He did open with the gateway first into Cybernetics core and then Nexus. So, I was about to sneeze. My bad.
No, it's alright.
I was like,
it's springtime. Damn allergies, but
oh man, tell me.
I understand completely. But Stalker's popped out here to get rid of the Overlord of Baldwin, and he still floats his way in here, and it's like, well, again, I don't really see anything out of you. There's no tech. And also, no tech is kind of good in that regard. That okay, I have not seen any Stargate or anything like that. And then right before the Overlord dies, he does see the Forge going down. So it's basically in his eyes, it's going to be the same thing that you did last game.
Yep. And even seeing the Chrono Boost on the Nexus, it's like, okay, you're trying to get your probes out. If you see that, I mean, scouting the Cybernetics core and seeing if there are Chrono Boost on it, then it's like, okay, I'll prepare for an attack. So he feels really comfortable. At least Baldwin does, as he's making 7 drones, putting down a Roach Warren, and preparing. He's not preparing for a gateway timing at all. He's just getting the Roach Warren relatively late for a gateway expand. He's putting the Roach Warren down at a time where it'd be good for like Force fast expand. But if SWS was doing like a 4 gate or something, or a 3 gate pressure, it would only be Lings right now. No spines or anything. So, luckily for him, SWS didn't go for that. And he keeps an eye out on the front too to see that the units are there.
Which is very
scouting
important.
the forge is an important thing too, because it usually means that the next attack will be a little bit later. And yeah, there we go. So yeah, 12 roaches. So he's definitely.
Which I really like that. opting for this style of play. It's mixing it up from last game, and it looks like SWS getting some lag again. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it looks like SWS is kind of stuck on the harder side of things with getting
Yeah.
the lag spikes on his end. We saw Curran was hit with it a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it doesn't
Oh
come to
no!
East Coast.
Hopefully I'm not next. It's like going from west to east.
Right?
But oh yeah, I don't know. It could be because I know that oh, Bexy is at least I think West Coast right now. So I mean I'm not saying it's like that, but I mean I know that
No,
she
but
literally messaged me and goes, "Are you getting lag spikes?" Like really? Like and there
oh,
goes me. Like
yeah. Also,
I'm, I'm,
you
I think it
jinxing it
is
now.
current. Yeah, I think something's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. Well. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know, man.
I do not understand what's going on with BattleNet, and we apologize, guys. You know, it sucks when something like this does happen. It is out of our control.
Yep.
But you know, I hope you guys have been enjoying the matches so far.
Yeah.
And Baldwin saying I'm getting a lot of DC screens over. Yeah, that does happen too sometimes with the lag.
Yep.
Kern's lag window just came up again.
Yeah. So did mine.
And Tempo before that. They're calling all you guys out.
Yeah, man. Why they gotta be player hating? I'm just kidding. But,
SWS kicking up with that hallucinated Phoenix, and he gets over there right as those roaches pop out. So that is like the intel that he wanted here, and gets an idea. Okay, you're scuttling across the map now. You're going to be swinging over and trying to aggress towards me as I'm trying to establish my third base. And you know this is such a strong timing. The only thing that Baldwin has to worry about with this timing is how well SWS is with his force fields, and we know that he does a really good job. But there's 20 lings behind this, so even if he gets the good force fields he wants, he's going to have to burn a lot because he doesn't have much fighting force in this. And then we already see starting to throw him down, taking advantage of the map with that nice little choke there, using that mothership core as a good focal point. But there's the Ling starting to move across as well, and it's going to be tough. And you know, SWS realizes this. He's going to start kind of making sure he's in the most optimal position and forces the cancel and just says, no, I can't defend that. There's
yeah,
no
that
way.
position was great from Baldwin too. He got into a position after the force fields ended that he could attack that Nexus. And if SWS were to come down, then he would have to deal with units on both sides. So he didn't want to take that risk. He's not on any tech, so that's a lot of sentries. So while they can do the zoning out, there's really not much firepower behind it. So he didn't want to take that risk of losing the sentries just to save the third. And you know, his plans are going to be a little bit changed and altered because of that cancellation. But Baldwin doing a pretty damn good job himself, you know, going up to Hydra. But I don't know what okay, SWS going for that blink, getting the robotics facility, gonna try to get that third up one more time. And
well, yeah, his fighting force has gotten stronger now. His sentry count has increased. His stalker count's increased here. He does have his robotics. Too. Yes, I mean,
you know, he's at 62 to 64 drones.
But
he really wants
next
that
push, the next push is going to be really scary to deal with here. That creep is getting closer and closer. Hydralisks are getting thrown into the mix. Groove Spine's added in. 28 more Lings are about to pop here. +1 missile, +1 ground carapace is about to pop out here. And this is going to be hitting before that +2, before that blink is ready. And it's, again, going to fall down to SWS making sure he gets those force fields he needs, because this is going to be a very tough position to hold.
Yep, +1/+1 finishing as well. And Hydra's mixed in with that really makes it yeah, I think
Game
yeah. Oh, he's 0 mini.
Well,
yeah.
I can't even move. Yeah.
So
Crimson saying Riot is DDoSing Blizzard's headquarters.
well,
I don't. That might be something. Let's see.
Oh man, is that like this position too, where the observer's like right there? So Hmm. Yeah, I really do think it is though. There's something going on with it for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. It's just
And that's like SWS was saying, like, he's got 60 download right now.
because if I unpause, I won't be able
Yeah.
to force field.
And
Yeah, it
and
just
this is when he needs to force field at
yep.
this point in time, and he knows it. He's got that observer there.
Yep.
Um, and he's like, Lang seems to have gone again. Tech showing up right away. That's
So
good.
let's try it. Well,
uh, go
Baldwin is
go.
like has that killer instinct right now, and he just wants to go, go, go. And that's
Mm,
what he's gonna do. So he has his lings, he has his roaches, he has his hydras, but this isn't his only attack. He's getting an infestation behind it and a fourth. So whatever
yes.
damage he does here, he's hoping to just maximize on it. Maybe not win the game, but here it goes.
Force field's coming down, and already just a small pack of units up inside the ramp there, and they're going to start pushing their way into the natural, and waiting for the force fields to dissipate there around the third, and he's basically trying to get that surface area that he needs, but force fields can easily go down. Oh my gosh, probes do not transfer now. What are you doing? Oh no, a lot of probes going to go down in the process, and proton overcharge getting used. An immortal pops out here, but that third base is taking some serious hits here, and he can start single targeting that down. And if he gets that snipe off, that would be huge here. And it looks like he's will be able to do a lot of damage. Does he get force fields? Oh, 50 health! 50 health! Oh my gosh!
No way.
50 health.
No way. SWS holds with about 51 health on that Nexus. And damn, the supply is starting to even out here, and that's never the good case for the Zerg, as we do see SWS holding on to most of his sentries, keeping his immortals alive, and he kept his third base. That's so important. So,
Yes.
wow.
Now, he just has to be careful, though, because a pack of Lings could very easily run up north, swing down on that bridge, and come around the other side, and just, single target down that.
Yeah.
It's very, very low on health.
They just like jump on top of it. It's like, yeah.
Like
Kirby doing that. Oh, really nice actually, because these roaches are gonna get picked off. But if these units get taken out of position, we may see a little bit of an attack here from Baldwin to try to take that third out. But he's not gonna risk it. Doesn't really have the units to actually do that. And SWS is on the move. Yeah.
Yeah. This is good. I mean, he's got to try to move his way across, but one thing, he hasn't really done those hallucinated Phoenix Scouts lately, so he does not know that Swarm Host has started to come out yet.
No, he doesn't. And the gases are already mining from the fourth of Baldwin, and that's a pretty scary thought because he doesn't have any type of AoE. He hasn't even started his robotics bay, no Templar archives either, so here comes the counterattack, and these units do want to kill that third base, and oh no, the units of SWS are out of position, but the Swarm Hosts are going to be pretty naked, so he's going to have to be able to deal with those. Oh man, well, we'll see with this army.
He's given up on his third base, though.
Yeah,
the
it's
Lings
gone.
have come in there, Roaches have come in there. Wait, attack the Nexus. What are you doing? There he goes. Takes that out, and now the Immortals, though, are moving their way forward, picking off Swarm Hosts left and right. There's a lot on the ramp, though, and there's not much kind of support with this. These Swarm Hosts are very vulnerable, and force fields go down, keeping those units siphoned off, and he's going to go and basically trade third base for a third base. At the same time, those Lings and Roaches cleaning up a few more Stalkers over on SWS's side, but he gets another big warp in, will push those back, and now it is going to be how things work over. Supplies are very, very close, but 4 Immortals and all those Blink Stalkers are making things very, very dangerous on Baldwin's side. He does have Hydralis popping, though, and that's going to make things tough for SWS if he sticks around much longer.
Yeah, Hydras and Swarm Host are pretty perfect unit composition to deal with what SWS does have. Losing that third is pretty crucial. Even teching into Colossus wouldn't be as viable because the gas income is so low now, and he is going to try to do it, but, he's been missing out on that gas for a long time, and I think that Baldwin is going to take advantage of that. He's up to 82 drones, although he did lose his third and fourth base. So, it's not the end of the world for SWS because although he did lose his third, he traded for quite a bit of units and drones and 2 bases. So
yes, yeah, definitely.
and a lot of
nice
the creep, too. The creep is important as well.
Oh, no, creep tumor. Don't go there.
Yeah.
What?
This is
he goes,
whatever.
He got scared. Creep tumor too scared. abandoned ship. Now
Uh-oh.
he knows the swarm hosts are there. Aggressive blink, but he does blink right by those Hydralisks, and they're going to start picking off a lot of those forces. And at this point, we see Colossus getting added in here, extended thermal lance being started up, but there are no Colossus. So this is the timing. Baldwin really needs to start identifying what is happening and move across the map, and that's what he's going to start doing. Slowly going over there, has queens there because he has to get that creep connected up. Muscular augmentation is not done yet.
We're only going to be seeing Colossus, it seems, out of SWS right now. He made another Robo. We got to be careful with those blinks. But yeah, he's making another Robo. Going to make 2 Colossus at a time. That extended thermal lance is about a quarter of the way done, maybe a little bit more. And he can't really take the great fight until he gets them out. So retaining those sentries is pretty important. And the fact that the creep, that one creep too, it did get taken out. So
but
now he's feeling the pressure.
Small pack of stalkers swinging up from the north, right as that third base finishes. They're right there.
Wow, there's nothing here.
Timing.
There's absolutely there's 4 Hydras. And is he gonna go back, or what is he gonna do here? He might leave the swarm host there, but if he leaves them undefended, then this army is gonna be able to take them out. So he needs to make a big decision here as how he wants to deal with these stalkers. And it looks like he's just gonna let that base go down. And SWS is just chilling. He's hanging out. Where's his mother? Oh, he does have a mothership core. I was like, okay.
No, but
that base is dead. That base is dead.
Is good. Oh, good snipe there from SWS, and the siege has started up here for Baldwin. He's going to start laying siege to that third base, and it looks like SWS is just going to swing around and sneak in behind and take out the swarm host here and catch those Hydralisks off guard when they're off creep.
Wow, what a really nice. Will he do it though? He's going for it, and then the next wave though is going to come with the Locust. He's going to attack with them with the Colossus. Targeting down those swarm hosts. Here come the Locusts though. The Observer is still alive. There is no Overseer here, so he can't snipe that at all. Oh man, he just can't attack into it without being cost efficient. But he is taking the upper hand in the supply. He kept his third up, and he's still making double Colossus. There's no Spire here for Baldwin. So even with this double Robo, look at these Stalkers, man. They're still going in. But what I'm saying is that there's no Spire, so he can't even do a muted transition. He has to stay on this kind of tech, and GG will be called.
I mean, those Colossus, that timing window that Baldwin had was a very, very small one, and he really needed to identify it just a little bit quicker there. And by the time he moved off, SWS was doing a great job still delaying things, locking down the middle of the map, locking down that watchtower and saying, no, you cannot come attack me. No, you can't come over here yet. And it paid off. It allowed him to get that Colossus count higher and higher. And like you were talking about, Tempo, Baldwin really unable to get that transition to the Spire because those bases were sniped off by SWS. He still had that Stalker hit squad that came down around the map, sniped that third base. And, I thought Baldwin played very, very well, but SWS just playing just better. Like in the end, he played better to be able to take out Baldwin. And then, sometimes that's just how it